Professional golfers know how to deal with pressure. They have a team, they have a psychologist, but what can the regular amateur recreational golfer do to increase their performance as the pressure rises? You're about to find out.
Be the right club today. Yes!
What's going on, guys? G2 here with 3-Putt Bogey, and today we are going to talk about pressure. Pressure on the golf course is one of the most debilitating things a golfer can go through. It impacts your performance, both mental and physical. It impacts your habits, your traits, your skills, your experience, everything. What should be a relaxing and enjoyable time can easily be ruined by the onset of pressure. Now, what do I know about sports psychology? I am not a sports psychologist. I do not train or teach elite athletes on how to deal with pressure. No, I went to school for it, but that's not what I do. But over the years, through formal education and the tons of books that are back there that all talk about how elite athletes deal and manage pressure, no matter the sport, I'm going to give you real examples, drills, and skills that you can use on and off the golf course to help improve your ability to reduce pressure and stress on the golf course to make you golf better and feel better. So the very first thing that you need to realize, and that everyone needs to realize, you need to take a moment and be real, okay? Be real with where you are. You need to have realistic expectations based on the abilities that you currently have. Someone who's golfing for 1 year is going to interpret this video and these skills completely different from someone who may be golfing for 20 years, like myself. But the common element for all of those, regardless of skill level, is to have achievable goals that you can strive for. You need to set your bar, and your bar is different than your playing partners. We live in a world where we are constantly bombarded with professional golfers who are constantly showing you excellence on the golf course. And that's not you. Not yet. So when you're on the golf course and you're trying to live up to that standard or that expectation that you see with a 320-yard drive or hitting a green from 180 yards out, that is probably not who you are as a golfer right now. So trying to put yourself to the expectation of that is completely unrealistic. So yes, you see these amazing golfers and athletes on TV, and we want to hold ourselves to that standard. We get angry when we miss a green from 150 yards or when we miss a 20-foot putt. Is that realistic? Are you being fair on yourself? And you're not. So that's the first step of this process, is to be real and set a realistic expectation for your performance. So now let's start to go into our list of the things that you can do on the golf course in practice to improve your performance when a stressful situation arises or something that may evoke the feeling of fear, like hitting a par 3 over water or hitting a fairway with out of bounds on both sides. Both extremely stressful and potentially fearful situations because you're thinking about the worst case scenario, right? So it all starts, and this is going to sound hokey, but just hear me out. Positive self-talk. And this is literally you talking on the golf course. Now, my playing partners will tell you when I get up to the tee, I'm talking. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to myself. I'm going through what my plan is for this shot right now. I don't care about the shot that I had before. I don't care about the next shot after this. What is my shot right now? So for example, I'm teeing up to a par 3. I got to carry water. Water carry, let's say 140 yards. The pin is tucked in the right corner at 165 yards. That's the information that I gather before I even go to the tee box. So I'm thinking to myself out loud as I'm getting up to the ball. All right, so the plan here, we know we need 140 to carry the water, 165 to the pin. It's on the right side. We're not even going to go for that pin. We're going to go for the fat part of the green. That's where we're going to aim. We're going to hit a 155-yard shot. For me, that is a nice 7-iron. If we pull it a little bit, we're going to be still on the green. if we are to slice this or push it slightly, we're going to lose some yardage because a shot right usually goes shorter, but I'm not going to lose 15 yards, so I've taken water out of play. I have a plan. I'm picturing the outcome. Positive self-talk. I've made this shot before. I know I can do this. I know that this is the right club. So now that I've had that talk with myself, right? You hear elite golfers talk about in the box and out of the box, right? When they're out of the box, they're planning. They're creating the situation that they want to create. They're buying into that plan. When they step into the box, this is where execution occurs. The box can be whatever you want it to be. Whatever is the mental trigger for you to tell your body, okay, we've got our plan, now it's go time. The only way this works is if you are 100% bought into your plan. If at any moment during this point you start to wander or things start to creep in, you got to step out. Step out, go back, get yourself in a right frame of mind, and then go ahead and start the process again to focus on what you can control. Just about this shot, this swing, this place right now. Now, once you get into the box, right, we're emphasizing the process. You need to develop a routine, whatever it is, whether it's driver, iron, putter, wedge, it can all be different, but it's your routine for that situation, that shot. Maybe with driver, you set up, you do a couple waggles, you have some kind of trigger to tell your mind and body that it's go time. Maybe for your irons, you kind of hover it and you tap the ball or tap the ground right behind the ball before you swing. Maybe it's a little waggle. Maybe when you're putting or chipping, you always do, 2 practice strokes before you go. It's creating a routine, and you stick to that routine the same all the time. What triggers your mind and your body to tell you that, hey, this is it. Like, now we're in the box, right? Now it's go time. All we're focusing on is this. And over time, the more you develop that routine, the more your body will physiologically respond to that situation and that tick or that trigger, and it knows. It's amazing. Your body will know that it is time for you to execute. This is why when you look at the professionals, and if you take a stopwatch out and you time how long their pre-shot routine is, it is within milliseconds of the same pre-shot routine every single time. It is ingrained in their memory. It is ingrained in their muscle memory. It is ingrained in their conscious and their subconscious. Almost instinctual. Actually, I think you do it long enough, it becomes instinct. Like you're not even thinking about it anymore. That mind-body connection of timing is already there. All right, so we're ready to pull the trigger. We're standing there. We're getting ready to do our tick or trigger to let us know that it's time to swing. But here we go. The wind picked up. Oh shit, there's water in front of me, right? Here comes the negative thoughts. Here comes the fear, the memory of what you may have done in the past. Okay, how do you get yourself out of it? You just back off. It's hard to do it. We feel rushed when we're in golf, but there's a way to do this process and still play fast. It's all right to back off. Maybe you're standing there and the stance just doesn't feel right, or the grip just doesn't feel right. How many times have we just said, screw it, and we go ahead and we still do the swing, and a poor result or the result that we did not imagine happens, right? Congratulations, we just gave ourselves the perfect excuse, right? What do you say as soon as you hit that shot? Oh, I never felt comfortable over the ball. Well, why didn't you back off? Subconsciously, we do it and swing it because we're letting ourselves off the hook. We know, hey, I got an excuse. I can make a swing here, and if it's good, great. If it's bad, I've already got my excuse already. Okay, that's not the way you want to play golf. You back off, and you go through it again. And that will allow you to rewire your brain if fear starts to creep in, or stress, or negative thoughts, or anything like that. You want your mind to be clear and only thinking again about that singular task at hand, hitting this ball to that target. That's it. That's all you're thinking about. Okay, so we're ready. We take the shot. Ball's up. It's looking good. Lands right where we wanted. Great. Guess what? That's not going to happen all the time. Okay? You're amateur golfers. You're recreational golfers. You don't do this professionally. I would venture to say that more than 50% of the time, that is not going to be the result that you get. And that's okay. That's why you have a handicap, right? So the last part of this is accept the outcome. The minute you hit that ball, it's out of your hands. There's nothing you can do to replay that shot, to take that ball out of the air, grab it, and put it back on the tee and go for another one. It's done. The reaction has occurred. The outcome is inevitable. If it's great, fantastic. If it's bad, who gives a shit? So what you do, and it's the same regardless of the outcome, good or bad. You watch, you see what happens, allow it to register, and then have something that you do, a physical move is what I like, to kind of release yourself from whatever outcome that happened, good or bad, because you have to treat these the same. You don't get too high and you don't get too low. You stay right in the middle. And the only way to do that is to excuse the bad shots and downplay the good shots. So this is your opportunity to hit the reset button, whatever that trigger is. So for me, I get my club and I tap the ground. As soon as I hit a shot, whatever it is, good or bad, swing, follow through, watch the result. Okay, I missed the green, whatever. And I'll grab my club, and it's not a huge tomahawk slam, right? It's a little tap from about my knee down. I go a tap, tap. That's it. That is out of my head. Tap, tap. If it's a good shot, I do the same thing. Tap, tap. It's done. Yeah, your playing partners will be like, oh my God, that was an amazing shot. They'll keep talking about it. Or if it's a bad shot, they'll be laughing at you, whatever the case may be. Doesn't matter what they're doing. This is about what you're doing. So release the shot. It's done, right? So from the point that shot finishes and you release yourself from the results of that outcome until you get to the first step we were talking about, the positive self-talk about saying your plan out loud, in between there, you can do whatever you want. Look at, these caddies. They talk about, we were talking about movies. We were talking about books. We were talking about sports, right? You can't be solely focused for 4.5 hours. Your mind cannot handle that. You will feel mentally and physically exhausted. So that time in between shots is your escape. Do whatever it is. Smoke a cigarette. Have a drink. Check your texts. Make fun of the other golfer that you're playing with. Whatever it is. Just don't think about your shots. It is a complete and utter mental wipe. So now that you know the process to go through, right? This is all fine and dandy. You can have these in place. But unless you know how to practice and hit a shot under pressure or fear or stress, when the time comes, you may start to crack. So what you need to do is you need to learn how to practice under pressure. So how do you create pressure? And this is the easiest way that I've found. It's not about doing games like trying to hit 5 greens in a row. And if you don't do it, you have to keep starting, or trying to make, 5 10-footer putts in a row and then restarting if you have to, do it all over again. Yes, that will create some pressure over time. But I found the best way to create a pressure situation is to create a stressful environment. Now, pressure and fear, they're psychological responses. It's how your brain reacts. But that also creates a physiological response. And the physiological response is what we feel, right? The psychological responses are those thoughts and images. What really messes people up is the physiological response. Your hands go numb. You can't feel your fingers. You start to get really tense in your body. You lose that flow of your swing. You're strangling the club because you're holding it so tight. Your heart rate is up. You're sweating. All of these are physiological responses to stress or fear or pressure. How can you recreate that? Think about it. physiological response, heart rate increased, sweating, tension. All of those are killers. The way you recreate it is physical exercise. Do like 10 jumping jacks and hit a shot. Run in place for 10 seconds and hit a shot. Do something to get your heart rate up and try to hit that golf ball. Your heart's going to be racing. You're going to hold that club really tight. You're going to be very tense. It's going to be exactly like you were in a stressful situation. Now, this is where you go through the steps we talked about earlier. Calming yourself, having a plan, controlling your heart rate, controlling your breathing. The only way to do that is to put yourself in a pseudo-stressful environment, and the easiest way the body responds to stress or mimics stress is through physical exercise. So, if you want to beat and manage stress on the golf course, you simply have to learn how to recreate it. Physical exercise is the closest that you're going to be able to come to recreating a stressful or fearful environment without actually being in one. It's the only way that you can prepare yourself and create a routine that helps you overcome those physiological feelings. If you can do that, then the final step is everything that we talked about earlier about removing the mental thoughts. And if you can do that, then you will be able to navigate and manage any situation that comes about and remain cool, calm, collected, and even-keeled throughout your entire round, and really probably piss off your golf partners because nothing's going to faze you. If you know any other books that you've read or videos or tutorials that you've watched that helps manage stress and fear, leave them below in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, make sure that you swing as hard as you can just in case you hit the ball. G2 out.